Hey everyone, I'm Mexus. Now over this past weekend, these past few days, E3's been going on, and there has just been so many things being announced over these past few days. And if you're like me and are a normal person and you actually have a life, you probably missed a lot. So in today's video, I will be covering the top 5 games so far from E3. Now before we go any further, just note that these games are not in any particular order, and these games were not chosen based off of stats or hype around the game itself, more of just my own personal feelings about these games, and just the fact that I'm really excited to play all these games on this list. So if you think I missed one that should have been on this list, or you have some comments about one I did mention, let us know down below in the comment section. At number 5 on our list, we have STARFIELD. Now, we've seen a little bit from STARFIELD over the past few months, but not anything too crazy, but the game was officially announced at E3 by the man himself, Todd Howard from Bethesda. And as everyone knows, Bethesda's last major launch, being Fallout 76, had a really poor launch, unfortunately, and a lot of people are worried that STARFIELD will be the same, and it's left kind of a sour taste in their mouth. But in my personal belief, I think Bethesda has learned from this mistake, and I think STARFIELD is really going to be a solid game. The most important thing about this game is that STARFIELD will be running on a brand new game engine, which is the Creation Engine 2. Bethesda has been working on this game for like 20 to 25 years now, which I cannot think of another title that's been being worked on that long before. So there's a lot to expect from a game with that many years behind it for production. At number 4 on this list, we have Halo Infinite. Now this is probably currently one of the most anticipated games out there. They showed a lot during E3, and I think a lot of people, including myself, are excited for this. But last year we got a campaign demo that I was not impressed with like many others. The textures seemed really low quality, and the environment was just blocky and lifeless, and it really seemed like a Halo game I was just not going to buy again. But I have to say, so far this year, we've gotten 3 solid trailers, one being a brand new campaign trailer and 2 multiplayer trailers, and I've got to say, this will be the first Halo game I look forward to since Halo Reach. Now, the 343 Industries is taking a pretty big leap of faith with a lot of the changes they're making in Halo that we've seen so far, especially these past few days with some of the new trailers coming out. They have just a bunch of new equipment and vehicles and weapons like that. Like some of the equipment they have now is a new droppable shield, which you can see in here in the background. It looks pretty cool. But they also have like another one that's an effect that blocks a plasma pistol that we see and returns a shot to the enemy. And that's pretty interesting to see in a game like Halo. And of course there's the grappling hook. Everyone that has seen a Halo Infinite trailer knows that there's a grapple hook coming to the game. It just seems like 343 is really looking to take some chances here and shake things up. And maybe even quiet some of the critics that felt like the past 2 Halo games were not up to par with Bungie's past games, like myself. Like, I have not been this excited for a Halo game since Halo Reach, and they have me hooked now. Another interesting thing that they're doing that we've never seen with Halo before is that the multiplayer will be free to play. Now they do show off some of the new weapons as well, like the skewer, and they also show the return of the fan favorite chopper from Halo 3. I cannot wait to get back on that and start splattering people again. The game looks high paced and fun, and I'm really looking forward to sinking my teeth into some Halo Infinite multiplayer later this year. The game just overall is looking really solid. At number 3 we have Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. Now the first Stalker game came out in 2007, which might be a little too old for some of you watching this video right now, but for me back then I was just a young kid. Unfortunately too young. I was not able to handle this game back then, but I do have fond memories of just watching my older cousins play this game as I cowered behind them. I'd always try to peek out the corner of my eyes to watch what they were doing. I just could not handle it and always look away. But with Stalker 2 releasing on April 22nd, 2022, nothing will probably change for me. I am not big into horror games. I cannot handle jump scares well. But for those of you that like to be scared and liked the horror aspect of video games, this game will be perfect for you. If you have watched any of the recent trailers over the past few days, the game just looks absolutely beautiful. With what may be some of the best lighting we've seen in a video game to date, the god rays are beautiful and the environment looks so alive and colorful as you're venturing around. It's going to make for some really cool adventures. Now the game is open world, and it seems to be that it has several endings based on the decisions that you make, which is also a really cool thing to have, because then you are in control of what happens and you're the narrator. And to me, that's just the best thing about a video game. I think this game will carry a lot of anticipation for it, and as you're rushing around and rolling around and trying to avoid monsters and whatever you're doing, I think it's safe to say you'll always be looking out the corner of your eye while playing this game. At number 2, we have Back 4 Blood. Now this game is brought to you by the makers of the infamous Left 4 Dead game series. Back 4 Blood is finally coming to release in 2021. Now the game release date as of now is October 12th of this year, and at E3 we got the official release date trailer that shows some really cool cinematics. However, the more interesting trailer we got was for the PvP. Now one of the highlights of that trailer was the different zombie types, which you can kind of see here on the screen. We have the Reeker, the Wretch, the Exploder, Stinger, the Hawker, the Stalker, Tallboy, Crusher, and the Bruiser. And I'm sure there's more to come, those are some of them. Everything we have been shown so far indicates that this game will be capturing all the Left 4 Dead nostalgia that we have been missing for so many years now. And this is shaping up to be a game that me and my friends will be sinking countless hours into. Now unfortunately, it is hard to tell how well the game's going to play and how it's going to be when most of the trailer is just cinematics. But overall, I think this game has a lot of potential, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. Now at number 1 on this list is Battlefield 6, which you probably were going to guess that anyway. Now I think it's safe to say that just about everyone is talking about Battlefield 6, and I think it's been a really long time since there's been so much hype behind a Battlefield game. Now I haven't really kept up with any of the recent Battlefield games, and the only reason why I saw this one actually was the Jet trailer, which is from one of the older games where a player in the game made that play where he jumps out of jet, shoots another jet with a rocket launcher, and jumps back in his jet. And when I realized that's what they did, I was like, this game's going to be just amazing. Now it's safe to say that every Battlefield has always been kind of chaotic, but this game is going to be absolutely just chaos at all times. Buildings will be collapsing, there's going to be tornadoes, sandstorms, and not to mention, there will now be 128 player servers. And you might think that's a lot to fill in one server, but from what I've seen online, it looks like if they need to fill in players, there'll be bots that fill in, and as new players come in, those bots will get removed as players come into the game. Another good thing to mention is the maps are just absolutely massive. I cannot remember last time I played on maps that are going to be this big. They are bringing in the classic Battlefield mechanics, vehicles, and the typical qualities we've come to expect from Battlefield games, but most importantly, they are really embracing the community this time around. Is the class tossing of 4-wheelers at the enemy that's strapped with C4 in the multiplayer game mode, which you can see right here. It's clear to see that DICE is looking to make this Battlefield one to remember, and as it stands, the game has all the hype in the world. I cannot tell you the last time I've been this excited for a Battlefield game, but I cannot wait to get my hands on this. I think this game is probably going to be one of the best first-person shooter games that we've seen in a super long time, and it's been needed for a while now. So with that said, guys, this has been so far my top 5 lists I've seen currently from E3. I am not super up to date, but these are just the games I've been excited for. I thought it'd be nice to kind of briefly talk on this type of stuff. And we also have plans to do more of this type of stuff in the future. I know it's been a while since we've uploaded on the channel here. I do now have a few team members behind this channel with me, which means we'll be doing more uploads kind of like this. We plan on covering some different things like game guides. We'll always do that stuff. But we're also going to be covering new stuff like this. And when new games come out, even if it's not guides for, we're going to cover the cool things about that. So if you do enjoy this type of content, do make sure to subscribe. And also stay tuned. We have a brand new website coming out that I think a lot of you are really going to enjoy. Take care.